The world of sports media thrives on charisma, insight, and the occasional unscripted gem, but few episodes have laid bare the raw dynamics of control quite like a recently unearthed clip from an NFL podcast set. At the center of this uncomfortable tableau is Jordon Hudson, the 24-year-old former cheerleader turned power player in the orbit of NFL coaching titan Bill Belichick. What began as a routine recording session for the podcast coach, hosted by the 73-year-old Belichick alongside ex-Detroit Lions head coach Matt Patricia, devolved into a masterclass in micromanagement, hot mic blunders, and the awkward collision of youth and experience. Filmed in the polished confines of NFL Film Studios in New Jersey back in September 2024, the footage paints Hudson not as a supportive partner but as an unrelenting force, scrutinizing every detail while her boyfriend, the six-time Super Bowl winner, chuckles along in bemused complicity. Hudson, with her sharp eye for visuals and unapologetic demeanor, positioned herself as the de facto director from the jump. The podcast, meant to dissect football strategy with Belichick's trademark precision, found itself derailed by her fixation on the graphics, those on-screen aids meant to illustrate plays and talking points. As monitors flickered with digital renderings of end-zone defenses and red-zone tactics, Hudson's voice cut through the room like a referee's whistle. "Is it necessary to say, keep them out of the end zone?" she queried, her tone laced with impatience. "I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know if there's an additional point. Should it say red zone? You guys haven't reviewed these before this moment here." The producers, caught off guard, shuffled papers and tapped screens, but Hudson wasn't done. She turned to Belichick, her words dripping with sarcasm. "I thought this was going to look like it was scribbled into a playbook. This feels like a, how many people does it take to screw in a lightbulb, situation." Patricia, seated nearby with the furrowed brow of a man trapped in someone else's family dinner, offered little more than uncomfortable glances. A veteran of Belichick's Patriots dynasty, he'd seen his share of intense prep sessions, but this was different. Less X's and O's, more existential critique of production values. Hudson pressed on, undeterred, proposing graphics that mimicked ripped pages from a playbook slapped on the screen. It was a vision of authenticity, she argued, one that would transport viewers into the huddle's heat. "Can we do that with them?" she demanded of the off-camera crew. "And sit there and say, as they are doing it, that's wrong? Can we set up a meeting with the entire graphics team and anybody that has anything to do with this?" Her suggestions, delivered with the fervor of a first-time producer, bordered on the absurd, turning a simple recording into a full-blown overhaul. The real sting came in the unguarded moments, when the cameras rolled on but the mic stayed hot. Between takes, as the trio caught their breath, Hudson vented about the graphics team's competence. "I don't know how they have 4 full-time graphics people," she marveled, incredulous. Belichick, ever the laconic New Englander, shot back with a gruff, "They can't do us *****. The quip landed like a fumble in the red zone. Funny to them, fatal to the room's morale. Hudson doubled down, boasting she could whip up better visuals in minutes. "I mean, damn, if somebody puts on a clock I can create this in 5 minutes. Will you give me $2,000 to do that?" Belichick's chuckle echoed softly, a signal of alliance, while Patricia buried himself in his laptop, scrolling through what might as well have been escape plans. This isn't Hudson's first brush with public scrutiny, it's a pattern etched in viral infamy. Recall her infamous CBS intervention earlier that year, where she halted a reporter mid-question about how she and Belichick met, barking, "We're not talking about that." The moment exploded online, spawning memes, think pieces, and a torrent of backlash branding her as controlling, opportunistic, even predatory. Friends of Belichick, like NBA legend Charles Barkley, voiced concern on air, pledging an intervention to ensure his pal was okay. Ted Johnson, a former Patriots linebacker who'd hoisted Lombardi trophies under Belichick's watch, went further, questioning if age had eroded his mentor's judgment. "Is he of sound mind?" Johnson pondered publicly, highlighting the 49-year chasm between the couple. Hudson's cheerleading past, rooted in the University of New Hampshire's gridiron sidelines, once symbolized pep and poise, but now it's fodder for skeptics who see her as a 21st-century Yoko Ono, disrupting a dynasty. Yet to reduce Hudson to caricature ignores the broader currents at play. Belichick, post-Patriots, has reinvented himself at the University of North Carolina, trading Foxborough's pressure cooker for Chapel Hill's collegiate chaos. His Tar Heels sit at 2-3 as of late October 2025, grappling with a rebuild that's tested his adaptability. Friday's clash against the 4-2 California Golden Bears looms large, a chance to steady the ship before whispers of NFL regret drown them out. Belichick's UNC contract includes a paltry $1 million buyout, a nod to his wandering eye. He chased pro gigs relentlessly before settling for academia. As head coaches fall in the league like autumn leaves, his name tops every shortlist, a ghost of Super Bowls past haunting empty benches. For Hudson, the podcast fiasco underscores her evolution from pom-poms to power plays. At 24, she's not just dating a legend, she's embedding herself in his empire, from media ventures to game day logistics. Her hot mic disdain, "They can't do us *******, echoes the entitlement of youth wielding unearned influence, but it also betrays insecurity, a need to prove her place amid giants. Patricia's silent discomfort mirrors the unease rippling through Belichick's inner circle, where loyalty is currency and interlopers are liabilities. The footage, unearthed months later, arrives at a precarious juncture. Belichick's California road trip, Hudson's bid for a lower profile during the season, and the relentless churn of sports gossip. Critics decry it as a terrible look, a sideshow eclipsing Belichick's brain trust. Tory Branch, the Clips leaker, teased another 30 minutes of Hudson's off-camera antics from the CBS debacle, promising more fuel for the fire. Online forums buzz with armchair analysis. Is she a savvy operator or a symptom of Belichick's late-life rebellion? His divorce from longtime wife Debbie Clark in 2006, after 28 years, left scars. Hudson entered the frame amid his wilderness years, a spark in the post-dynasty void. At 73, Belichick's vigor, evident in UNC's sideline sprints, defies actuarial odds, but his tolerance for Hudson's assertiveness raises eyebrows. Does it signal empowerment or erosion? Johnson's sound mind query lingers, a poignant plea from a disciple fearing the master's fade.